Good day, students. Welcome to part 3 of the CAHSEE number sense review. We're going to be going over questions 21 to 30 in this series. Note that this video, the document I'm using right now is available online at www.ce.ca.gov. Alright, let's go ahead and take a look at question number 21. It says, Dana bought a car for $4,200 and later sold it for a profit of 30%. How much did Jana sell the car for? Alright, so what we know is that the original price is $4,200. Original price, let's write that down. Original price is $4,200. So the sale price, since she made a profit, the sale price is going to be the original price plus the profit, right? Whatever additional amount she was able to charge. So if we can figure out what the profit is in this problem, we just add it to 4,200 and that'll be it. So how do we find the profit? She made a profit of 30% of what? 30% of the original, right? That's a profit, 30% of 4,200. Alright, so let's translate this into a mathematical equation and solve it to find the profit, and then we'll add it to 4,200. So what is 30% in mathematical form? 30%, like the word suggests, percent is 30 divided by 100. Of is multiplied by 4,200, okay? So this will help us figure out what the percentage is. I can put this over 1. I can divide any number by 1, and it doesn't change the number. So let's reduce. I can cancel out a 0 from here and here. I'm dividing by 10. I can divide by another 10, which cancels out this 0 and that 0. And then I can multiply 30 times 42. 30 times 42. Just multiply across. Bottom is just 1, and then multiply across. So 30 times 42 is going to be, let me write it differently. I don't like how this looks. What if I wrote it like this? 30 times 42 divided by 1. Okay? And then now let's do the multiplication. So 30 times 42, 2 times 0, 0, 2 times 3, 6. And then we're going to go to the tens place. 4 times 0, 0. 4 times 3, 12. So 1, 2, 6, 0. This is the profit. Okay, so the profit is 1,260. So is our, what is C? Is our answer A? Is this our answer right here? Absolutely not. That's a trap, okay? You gotta be really careful. The question didn't ask for profit. It asked for how much did she sell it for? It was the sale price, okay? So to get the sale price, we must add the profit to the original price, and then that'll give us the actual final result, okay? So the sale price is going to be the original price, which is 4,200, plus the profit, which is $1,260. If you add them together, you're going to end up with 5,460, and that is option number letter C. Alright? Alright, let's move on to the next question. Question 22, it says a salesperson at a clothing store earns 2% commission on sales. How much commission does a salesperson earn on a $300 sale? So it is asking for just the commission alone. So the commission is going to be is 2% of the earning, okay? 2% of earning. Alright, so what is the earning in this problem? 2% of the person earned $300. So 2% of 300 is what the commission is. Alright? So let's see. Let's translate this into mathematical form and then find out what 2% of 300 is. So 2% is 2 over 100. of is multiplied by 300. Alright, so the identity for division is 1, so I can put a 1 under here. It doesn't change the problem. So I can divide by 100 or just cancel out the zeros. So canceling out those zeros right there means I'm dividing by 100. I'll multiply across and then we'll get $6. So the commission is $6. So our answer for number 22 is A. Alright, let's move on to 23. It says what number equals 2 to the negative 4? Remember, anytime you have a negative exponent, you have to reciprocate. So let's say you have x to the negative a, x to the negative a. This minus basically means that this needs to be reciprocated. So you put it over 1, and then it goes downstairs. So when it gets downstairs, it becomes 1 over x to the a. So it becomes well. Alright, so negative exponent means reciprocate. If it's upstairs, it goes down. If it's down, it goes up. Alright? So let's do this. So we have 2 to the negative 4. What can I divide any number by without changing the number? The identity for division is 1, so I put this over 1. So there you have it. You're going to have 2 to the negative 4. Or I can write this differently. Let me write this as, since that's just 2, I can write it as 2 over 1 to the negative 4. Did I change the problem? Absolutely not. What happened here is that I rewrote 2 as 2 over 1. Alright? So what's going to happen is that now I can distribute this negative 4 power to both of them. And then we can see what this becomes. So this negative 4. Alright, let me do it differently. Let me do the minus first. So this minus basically means you flip, right? So this minus means the top goes to the bottom. This 2 goes to the bottom. And then this 1 goes to the top. So you're going to have 1 over 2 raised to the 4th power. What just happened? The minus became a positive because I reciprocated this fraction. Alright? Alright, remember if you don't have anything under, just put a 1 there so you can have something to flip, alright? Or else you're going to have some trouble. So what does this become? Well, this power goes to both numbers in the parentheses. So the power goes to the 1 and the 2. So it becomes 1 to the 4th divided by 2 to the 4th. Work that out. 1 to the 4th is 1 times 1 times 1 times 1, 4 times. And then 2 to the 4th is 2 times 2 times 2 times 2, 4 times. 1 to the 4th is, if you times 1 by itself 4 times, you get 1. 2 times itself 4 times, you get 16. Your final answer is C. Alright, let's move on to question 24. You have 10 to the negative 4 and 10 to the negative 2 divided by 10 to the negative 4. So the first thing we want to do is we want to address this negatives, alright? So this one is with the top, this is with the bottom. So in order to address this negative exponents, there's going to be reciprocation, okay? So what's going to happen here, just like the other one we just did, when we go back, you see how we had to flip it? So it's going to be exactly the same thing here too. So the difference here is the denominator actually has something. We didn't have to put a 1, alright? So they would have something. Alright, so what we're going to do here is the top is going to come to the bottom, and the exponent is going to become positive, and then the bottom is going to go to the top, and the exponent is going to become negative. Alright, so this becomes 10 to the 4th divided by 10 to the 2nd. Alright, notice after reciprocation, the powers became positive. Okay, now how do we simplify this? Using law of exponents, if you have x over a divided by x over b, you subtract the smaller one from the bigger one. Okay, so it's x to the a minus b. A is bigger, and then if b is bigger, you do b minus a. Alright, so since 4 is bigger here, we're going to have 10. We're going to subtract, since the bigger one is on top, we're going to go to the top, 10 to the 4. And we're going to subtract this power right here from the top, like that, okay? And then that's going to give us 10 to the 2nd power, 10 to the positive 2. Okay, so remember, always subtract the smaller one from the bigger power, all right? And then you always stay where the bigger one is. So the answer to 24 is C. All right, let's move to 25. It says, which of the following is equivalent to 7 to the negative 6 times 7 to the 4th? I'll show you 2 ways of doing this. I'll show you the long method first, method 1. It's a long way. And then I'll show you method 2. So this is method 1. 7 to the negative 6 times 7 to the 4. Since this has a negative, I'm going to send it downstairs, okay? I'm going to reciprocate it. So if I reciprocate this, it's going to be 1 over 7 to the 6, because it has a negative power, so you have to go downstairs, times 7 to the 4th. This doesn't change, over 1. I multiply across, top to top, bottom to bottom, 7 to the 4th over 7 to the 6th. Now what I'm going to do next is I'm going to subtract, okay? Remember, you subtract the smaller one from the bigger one. So I'm going to have 1 over 7 to the what? I'm going to subtract 6 minus 4. Because that's the smaller one, I'm subtracting it from the bigger one. Alright? Which will give us 1 over 7 squared. That's my answer. Oh wait, there are no 1 over 7 squares here. So what I can do is, since they don't have no denominators, I can reciprocate this, send this upstairs. If I send this upstairs, what happens to the exponent? It becomes negative. Okay? Anytime you do reciprocation, the sign of the exponent changes. If it's negative, it becomes positive. If it's positive, it becomes negative. So this one was positive before, now it becomes negative. So our answer is C. Alright, method 1 is a little bit long. Now I'm going to show you another method, method 2, which exploits the rule of the product property of exponents. Alright, so method 2 is much quicker. Method 2, we have 7 to the negative 6 times 7 to the 4th. So the rule here is whenever you're multiplying exponents of the same base, all you simply do is add the exponents. Okay? So what I'm going to do here is I'm going to add the exponents. So I'm going to have 7 to the negative 6 plus 4. Okay? What is negative 6 plus 4? Negative 2. And guess what? We are done. There goes the answer. Alright, so they're both the same thing. Alright, if you remember the law of exponents, this is the best way to go. If you don't, then you can do this. But this requires you to remember the law of subtract division of exponents too. Alright? So there you have it. Now, moving on to exponent 6. It says which fraction is equivalent to 5 over 6 plus 7 over 8. So remember, whenever you're adding fractions, the denominators must be the same. You have to make them the LCD. So what's the LCD here? I want to make these numbers the same. I don't want to repeat common factors. So I'll take 6 and break it down into prime factors. 2 times 3. And then I'll take 8 and also break it down. 2 goes into 8 4 times. 2 goes into 4 2 times. So I'm going to have 5 over instead of 6, 2 times 3. And then 7 over instead of 8, 2 times 2 times 2. Okay? So it makes it obvious here that I can see what's missing and what I have to put in. Alright? So this has a 2, this has a 2, that's good. It has a 2 and a 2, excellent. This has a 3, this doesn't have a 3, so I need a 3 here. So whatever you insert on the bottom, you have to put it at the top to preserve equality, or else you're changing the problem. You don't want to do that. So we have a 2, good. We have a 3, excellent. Oh wait, we have 2 2's down here. So we got to add them here too, so that they balance out. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to put 1 2 top and bottom, and then another 2 top and bottom. Okay, remember, anything you add on the bottom, you must add it on the top also, okay? So we have 1 2, 1 2, 1 3, 1 3. So the denominator is matched. That's perfect. So at the top, we're going to have 2 times 2, 4. 4 times 5 is 20. 20 divided by 2 times 2 times 2 times 3 is 8 times 3, which is 24. Divided by 24 plus 7 times 3 is 21. Divided by 24. And you add them up, you get 41 over 24. So your final answer is D. Okay? Alright, let's move on to question number 27. It says, which of the following is the prime factored form of the lowest common denominator? Alright, so we're looking for the LCD here, just as we did before. So we have 7 over 10 plus 8 over 15. LCD, we want to make sure that the denominators are identical without factors being repeated, okay? So let's see. What do? We need to break down the denominator so we don't have any overlaps. So we can see the overlaps and then repeat them. So we take the 10, break it down, 2 times 5. And then 15, we also break that down, 3 times 5. Okay, so we have 7 over 2 times 5 plus 8 over 3 times 5. Now if you look here, you can see that 5 is an overlap. 5 is good. We already have 1 5 here and 1 5 here, so that's already taken care of. We don't need to add another 5 because 5 is good. Now what else do we need to make this common? We have a 2 here, so we need a 2 here to make it common. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to multiply a 2 at the bottom only. No, bottom and top, right? So we don't change the problem because these two is just like 1. So now we have 1 5 and 1 2, 1 5 1 2, looking good. But wait, we have a 3 here, so there needs to be a 3 over here too, so that they're common. So we just add a 3 at the bottom. No, we have to add it at the bottom and the top. Down like that. So you see what we have? We have 1 3, 1 3, good. 1 5, 1 5, and 1 2, 1 2. So these denominators, that gives you the LCD. Okay, so our LCD is just the denominator, lowest common denominator. The denominator, that's what they're asking for, is simply in ascending order 2 times 3 times 5. 2 times 3 times 5. Answer to 27 is B. Alright, let's move on to 28. It says what is 3 over 4 minus 1 over 6? So 3 over 4 minus 1 over 6. The denominators are different, so we need to make them common. So to make them common, we need to break them down first. So for 4, we break it down into 2 times 2. And then for 6, we break it down into 2 times 3. So we're going to have 3 over 4 is 2 times 2. Minus 1 over 6. 6 is 2 times 3. Okay? Now, we have 1 2 here, 1 2 here, that's good. But wait, we have another 2 here, so we need another 2 here. So we need to times it by 2 top and bottom. So don't change the problem. So we have, now it's looking better. We have 2 2s, 2 2s here and 2 2s here. Oh wait, there's a 3. We need a 3 here so that it's equal, right? So what I'm going to do is I'm going to put a 3 here, top and bottom. So let's do an accounting real quick. So we have 2 2s and a 3. Excellent. That's what I want. I want the denominators to be common, all right? So now if I multiply the numbers together, I'm going to have 9 over 3 times 4 is 12 minus 2 over 12. When you subtract, you get 7 over 12, and the final answer is C. Okay? All right, let's move on to question 29. It says, what is 3 to the 8th square? Now, remember, what this means, if you have a power raised to a power, you just multiply the powers. Okay, so 3 to the 8th square, you just multiply this power and that power together. Okay, so it's simply going to be 3 to the 8th times 2, which is equal to 3 to the 16th. Okay, so this is one way of doing it, method 1. There's also another way of doing it if you don't remember this rule. You have 3 to the 8th, and then you're squaring it. So what does that mean? It just basically means you have 3 to the 8th times 3 to the 8th. That's what square means. It means 2 copies, right? So how do you work this out? When bases are the same, remember your law of exponents, you add the powers. So it's going to be 3 to the 8th plus 8, which is 3 to the 16th. Bam. Same thing. All right? So your answer is D. So whichever method you want, you can go ahead and use, all right? Okay, now let's move along to question 30. It says 4 to the 3rd times 4 to the 2nd. We're going to use the same law of exponents I mentioned earlier, x to the a times x to the b. That's basically x to the a plus b. When the bases are the same, you simply add the powers. Okay, so 4 to the 3rd times 4 to the 2nd. It's going to be 4 to the, you add the powers, 3 plus 2. Okay, so 3 plus 2 is 5, so you're going to have 4 to the 5th power. Alright, so your answer is A. So please do not multiply the bases. The bases stay the same. All you do is you just add the powers. Okay, and also don't multiply the powers or else you mess it up. Just add the powers and then you get your answer. Alright, thanks so much for watching this video. Please subscribe to my videos and feel free to share this with your friends. You can also request videos if you need help with certain math concepts. I'll be glad to help you out. More videos can be found on math.serve.com. Thanks again and have a wonderful day.